Ladies and gentlemen, in this connection, the government will support ADAC as it unveils ingenious measures to ensure the fight against doping in sport continues in the context of our new realities. To this end, the ministry will work closely with the agency's board and management to guarantee the success of this program, which could not have come at a better time. I appreciate that a lot of effort went into the development and eventual execution of this program, and I'd like to commend all those involved. I urge sports federations in our country to embrace this innovation as we gradually resume sporting activities under conditions that will now become a new normal. I call upon sports federations to ensure that their members are sensitized on this program and all other aspects of anti-doping. We will also, as has been requested by Ambassador Makdwalo, take this wonderful, innovative, efficient program to the World Anti-Doping Agency and request that it becomes a standard, especially for us on the continent. Ladies and gentlemen, traditional sport leagues are currently relying on esports events to generate interest and excitement, while in-person events are totally on hold. This abrupt change is how we experience and engage with sporting events, and this has made one thing clear to all of us. Esport is here to stay, and will likely find a new set of fans because of this pandemic. In the long term, it's expected that traditional sporting events will continue to find ways to leverage virtual gaming alongside in-person events. In view of the foregoing, I'm encouraged that ADAC is already anticipating the future by launching this e-learning program. I call upon all stakeholders in the sports sector to support the agency in this and future endeavors that it undertakes, so that our athletes can continue bringing unblemished glory to the country through clean sport. It's also clearly about personal integrity as well as group integrity. It's also important that all of us in this ecosystem behave ethically. We must take personal responsibility and be each other's keeper and support system. I want to conclude by thanking the sports fraternity for their community support during these tough COVID-19 times. I say this because sports stadia have played an integral role in the country's response to the COVID pandemic. And they have done this through their use as makeshift hospitals, as isolation sports, or supply centers, or even through mobilizing their funds and their fund bases to help those in need. A good example is the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos County, which today has been converted to a 200-bed capacity ward. While future venues may be designed to increase community preparedness in times of crisis, COVID-19 has illustrated the vital role sports play in bringing all of us together, in bringing communities and people together. With a renewed focus on technology, sport, and live events, we'll continue to create those human connections, ones that will outlast any temporary interruption. That said and done, as a nation, thank His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta for putting in place the Sports Fund, the Sports Social Development and Arts Fund. And the reason is because although we all think that developed countries invest more in sports, and especially that governments in developed countries invest in sports, that may not actually be entirely true. That may not be entirely true. In many countries, it's the corporate world, it's the corporate sector that invests in sports. Yeah? And so we're grateful that our government recognizes the importance of sports and has invested heavily in sports. And you know that we have been given a budget of 14 billion this financial year. Yeah? But that 14 billion doesn't all come from the betting firms, because they also are feeling the pinch. So in fact, this money is coming from the treasury. Right? That basically means that our government continues to invest, and actually invest heavily in sports, and for that we should all be grateful. We will make sure that the money that we're given is used efficiently, that it's spread widely, and that we don't ever miss an event for any of our national teams because of a lack of funding. I think it's also important to say that we are on track on development of stadia. We hope by end of July, middle of August, we will deliver quite a number, and by December we should deliver those that we had promised to deliver at the beginning of the year. And so we are truly on track. I want to thank those contractors that are working hard with us and encourage the others to do just as well. Now, having said all that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Chairman, CEO, and the team that developed this program, I wish to officially now launch the anti-doping e-learning program, invite all those that love and care about clean sport to log in and learn something about the fight against doping in sport.